I just wanted to take a moment to make this fireside chat video to highlight a couple key concepts that we need to keep in mind when we're working with emotional freedom techniques. These two concepts are neuroception and the polyvagal ladder. And both of these concepts help us to evaluate safety. Greetings and welcome back to Integrate Emotional Success Coaching. My name is Leah. Safety helps us in all aspects of our lives. Whether or not we feel safe can determine how we will behave and how we will feel. And no great change can occur within ourselves unless we feel safe. So when we are tapping on the acupressure points that we utilize with tapping, we are activating the nervous system, and by doing it in the comfort of our own home in a safe environment, focusing on triggering issues, what we are doing is reevaluating that thought or experience in a safe environment and bringing a new perspective to it. So, what is neuroception? Neuroception was a term that was coined by American psychologist Dr. Stephen Porges in 2004 in a study titled Neuroception, a Subconscious System for Detecting Threats and Safety. So what is neuroception? Neuroception is the unconscious process by which the body detects and evaluates whether or not a situation or a person is safe, dangerous, or threatening. It's a subconscious system that helps us to make decisions about how to respond to our environment. And so, how does neuroception work? Neural circuits in the brain distinguish between safe and dangerous stimuli. Sensory information takes in what the body perceives and interprets sensory information about safety and risk. This happens on a daily basis, every waking moment, probably about 10 times a second. It is a subconscious system that is pre-perception. So the other aspect that is important to know is the polyvagal ladder. The polyvagal ladder is a representation that helps us understand how these signals are sent throughout our autonomic nervous system, throughout the vagus nerve, to help communicate to our organs and our body. At the top of the ladder, we have our ventral vagal state. And this is the state where you're feeling bliss, you're feeling happy, you're content with your life, and are, feeling at one with the world. In the conscious EFT world, we call this our window of joy. And this is kind of the goal of life for a lot of people, is to be living in that constant state of happiness and a constant state of joy, despite what challenges may or may not come your way. So in the midsection of the ladder is called the sympathetic activation. This is the part of the nervous system that regulates the fight or flight function. And here is where we are becoming agitated or possibly activated and overwhelmed by people, places, or things happening in our lives. This is where we are activated by intense fears or constant worry that potentially are threatening our lives. At the bottom of the ladder is the dorsal vagal state. And this is known as the freeze function. Here we might be experiencing feeling shut down, feeling doubt, or feeling numb, feeling collapsed into ourselves and not knowing what to do. This is also the state that potentially lends to being in a very deep state of depression. So wherever you find yourself on the ladder, it is going to be where your internal alarm system is reacting from. And we can become stuck and living from one of these places. And so the overall goal of emotional freedom techniques is to tap in to what we're feeling in order to try to use our subjective units of distress scale to move into a better place on the ladder. So a common example of neuroception is a baby who is cooing when the caregiver is around, but perhaps cries when it senses a stranger. Have you ever walked into a room as an adult and felt unsafe about something or someone in the room? This is neuroception at work, and it's your nervous system assessing the situation for you. It's sussing out the room. But what conscious EFT wants to convey to you is that this is good. This is exactly what your body was built to do. We just get confused about these messages and what to do with them. So it's a good thing. The next time we are feeling aroused by a situation, whether in fight, flight, or freeze, I encourage you to become aware of what you're feeling. And instead of thinking what is wrong, flip your awareness and say to yourself, what is right in this moment? What am I protecting myself from? What is going on that is normal here? And begin to highlight these things for yourself. By becoming aware of neuroception and where we fall on the polyvagal ladder, we can really become more aware and walk with safety and confidence in the world. And these are the things that lead to greater changes, greater capacity. So just keep this in mind, and if you need to, just refer back to this video. Have a great day.